Go ahead, Di.
Wait, what am I missing?
I'm
sorry.
Isn't Kevin Owens is next, right?
Oh no, here we go. Oh, the one. Yeah. So Kevin Owens made his Corbin. Corbin stood in the ring looking terrible. He said he's been down on his luck and said he would have to file bankruptcy. Corbin said a flaw of society is that when someone like him falls, they want to keep him down. He said this was the last time that he was going to ask for help. Corbin said he's used to a certain way of life, so he'd need every fan to contribute a minimum of $1,000.
$1,000.
Corbin pulled out a credit card scanner that was attached to his phone. Kevin Owens made his entrance, bringing his debit card, I assume, McAfee said. Funny. Corbin assumed that Owens was there to contribute, but he said he wasn't sure if his device accepted Canadian credit cards, and Owens said he was there to tell Corbin that what he was doing needed to stop. Owens recalled Corbin ruining Finn Balor's contract sign and asking Drew McIntyre for $100,000. Corbin said he would not leave until Owens gave him $1,000. Owens said he would because the fans wanted him to leave, but he had to beat him in a match to get it. Owens said that if he beat Corbin, the begging had to stop. Corbin agreed and started to blame Owens for his predicament, but led Owens to kicking and stunning him. All right, so then they cut backstage to Sasha Banks getting ready for.
Okay, so
let me say this. But this is the one thing that the WWE is doing that they like. We forget stuff like this. This is classic, and like when everybody's. I want to read your definition, right? You know how they say like wrestling is a male soap opera? All right.
Yeah.
This is the definition of soap opera. Okay. A serial drama performed originally on a daytime radio or television program and chiefly characterized by tangled interpersonal situations and melodramatic or sentimental treatment. All right? So basically what a soap opera is every week, okay, you have a guy or you have characters that are connecting with each other and leading to different things, right? So even like when they do stories that are kind of corny, the soap opera element of the storytelling gets the fans interested. Let me give you a perfect example. The whole saga, like how they started telling the story with Ray and Dominic and Seth Rollins and the Buddy Murphy and Aaliyah and stuff, everything that was classic soap opera storytelling because you had a lot of characters intertwined. So the thing is even if the angle is not even that good, or if it's corny and stuff, the soap opera element of the storytelling keeps you interested. Like you still want to know where are they going with Baron Corbin? Every week they're doing something. Every week he's interacting. Every week saying this is good soap opera style storytelling. Even though the angle might be kind of corny, it still draws interest from the fans. And you can see the reaction when he's doing these things in front of the live crowd. They're into this. They're into the stories.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So when you do the stories, the fans get into them. That's why it's like I think the difference between like what WWE's doing right now compared to AEW, it's like their stories start with two guys attack another guy. There's constantly guys jumping guys, and that's how their story is starting. As opposed to doing a corny story like this guy lost. There's a character in the show that's lost all his money. He's broke. Which is ridiculous. There's no way this guy. But we're into that story. And then that's one thing they're doing good is they have a few things that stand out. The Riddle, Orton thing and stuff. They got a few basic storylines throughout these shows that they're kind of like, even if they suck, you're interested in them. So I don't know.
And they don't take up much ring time either because Owens and Corbin had a match and it was only a couple minutes. Like
right, then they wrestled.
They were in and out. Like so I get what you're saying that. Most of the stories told outside the ring, like with videos, like how we saw that TikTok video of him. Like it's a weird story, but it's kind of interesting. I think so.
Right.
And McAfee's great too. Like just that comment with the debit card. Like I cracked up when he said that. That shit was hilarious.
And so
he's been a great addition.
Right. And the thing is, like, bro, the next thing you could do, you could have him with a collection plate in the crowd, asking for money. I bet you even if you did this in Mexico, they would have done this by now. They would have had a wrestler go into the crowd with a bucket asking for money, and the wrestler would keep the money. You know what I'm saying? But
do something too where he's collecting the money and then someone steals it and he has to like go after him or something
let me finish. So here's the thing.
He does one more thing.
Yeah.
So afterwards, they have the match. Owens stuns him, gives him another stunner after the match, and so then they go backstage and Corbin's like down in the dumps and everything, and he looks up and he sees the money in the bank. suitcase and he runs and steals it.
Right.
Okay, so it's like
McAfee, I think, was like, you can't do that. You can't just steal, And
well, they're doing things that don't make sense on the show, like where Cena has a title shot because it's like they created like this weird universe where like you can think that maybe this thing, like I would do this if I would have a spot with him if he's got the money in the bank. He's obviously not allowed to cash it in, but if you had a spot where somebody was like a guest heel referee in one of the title matches,
that's
you
great.
set up like.
Or maybe he's trying to sell the briefcase. But okay, here's the thing I want to say. This is what makes KO so great. I haven't seen him in a long time, and he just comes right back. He's great on the mic. He's great in everything he does, bro. He's another guy like Sami Zayn that you can put him anywhere and do anything with him, and he's always gonna shine.
Absolutely.
So next, the contract signing. Sonya Deville's in there. Sasha Banks makes her entrance, followed by Bianca Belair. Both women sat down at the contract signing table, and Belair told Banks that he just need to ask her if she wanted a rematch. Banks teased sign it, but then said she would need some witnesses. Carmella and Zelina Vega show. So it's fascinating they keep using Zelina Vega in this spot. I don't know what metrics they have, but like she looks completely out of place in this. Banks called Belair a rookie and said she didn't see that coming. And Belair ended up roughing up all three women. The numbers game eventually caught up with her, and Banks worked her over after sending Carmella and Vega to ringside. And Banks put Belair in the bank statement on the contract signing table. That was a good visual to end the show, I guess. But I don't know why they have Zelina Vega still in this mix.
Well, let me just say this, bro. This was very good because they were all physical. Because even though Zelina and Sasha are tiny, they brought it. You know what I'm saying? And I like Sasha talking Bianca while she's beating her up and then puts in that bank statement. I thought it was good by all four women, really.
So that was SmackDown.
All right.
What's your don't you have your little catchphrase here?
Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.
There we go.
Yo, what up? This is Conan, and I host Keeping It 100. My co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!